Warframe is a game where weapon selection is key. Beyond picking up whatever does the most damage or has the highest critical chance, there are also weapons that are fun. A lot of fun. I present to you Nytmaer's Top 5 Underrated Weapons List. Number 5. When it comes to melee weapons, there are plenty to choose from, but one set of weapons I frequently use are the dual cleavers. The dual cleavers are not the most powerful, but don't let that fool you because they can be downright deadly. They have the third highest crit chance for melee weapons. They are tied for highest critical chance for all melee weapons, which helps for crit builds. They benefit from the Syndicate Justice Blade mod, which can restore 25% health while releasing a radial explosion, dealing 1,000 points of blast damage to enemies around the player. And they have 100% stun chance on most enemies. The dual cleavers and the Prisma variant are a fun weapon to use. In fact, I used a regular set in my Butcher of Warframe video and nothing else, so at the very least they make for pure entertainment. You can find the BP in the market for 25,000 credits. So if you're looking for a good high crit weapon with low cost and lots of potential, the dual cleavers are definitely worth your time. Number 4. The Comb is often overshadowed by more popular shotguns like the Tigris and its Prime and Syndicate variants. But for a new player who likes shotguns, the Comb is a great weapon. It deals mostly slash damage, has innate punch through, high status chance, and the highest mag size, and it carries more ammo than any other shotgun. The entry barrier for this weapon is Mastery Rank 2, and the BP can be picked up from the market. So, when you're grinding through low-level missions on Earth, bring a Comb with you. It'll shred through enemies, cutting them in half, and if you're playing a Necros, it'll be your best friend. Number 3. While not as pretty as the Lex Prime or as sleek as a Gamma Core, the Atmos is hands down one of the most effective and useful secondaries in-game. It proves the old saying that you can't judge a book by its cover. The Atmos does mostly heat damage, which is great against infested and cloned flesh, but that's not what makes it such a fun weapon. It's the ability to hit multiple enemies from a single beam. Like the Amprex, the Atmos chains between enemies. It can even chain off charred husk it leaves behind, so you're using corpses as a link in the chain. What's not to enjoy about that? Now stat-wise, it's not very powerful, with an element damage of 50, and it's hampered by low magazine size and reload speed. You'll find yourself running out of ammo unless you have an ammo mutation mod equipped. Now, these may sound like negatives, but that's a part of the fun. I've killed more enemies with the Atmos than with some primary and melee weapons. It's all in how you mod it. Its entry barrier is Mastery Rank 4, so that's still good for low-level players, and it can be picked up in the market for 30,000 credits. The Atmos is a fine example of the utility and use of a weapon that would be weak otherwise. Its fire damage and chain linking ability makes it useful when downed by enemies, and with a few mods it can be turned into a really fun weapon. So break the chains and pick up one today. Number 2. When Magamu first reviewed this weapon, I was a little bit hesitant. I was heavily using the Orthos Prime, and I didn't think anything could touch that as far as a polearm type weapon. I was wrong. The Thibodeau is an awesome weapon. It is super fast, does high slash damage, which is great against the infested. It procs Berserker all the time, and if you use Blood Rush and Body Count, yeah, pretty much you'll be stacking red crits left and right. This weapon isn't a prime weapon, but it is one of the best weapons you can buy from the market, and I highly recommend it for anybody looking for a decent weapon. And one of the best things about it, the mastery rank is so low for it. Like, the mastery rank's only 3, which is great, because it's a good entry-level weapon that is equal to, or in some ways better than some of the prime weapons. So the Thibodeau is a weapon that you should definitely get your hands on. Number 1. The Buzzlock has to be one of my favorite weapons. It's not the most powerful, dealing mostly impact damage. It's not the fastest. The Prisma Grucata holds that honor. But It's good for righties and lefties. Yeah, that was a Fifth Element reference. What I like about the Buzzlock is I like the fact that it has homing rockets. There are no other weapons that have homing rockets, and this one has it. And even though the damage is, well, low, it's still a fun weapon to use. Particularly when you just shoot a beacon at a wall or at an enemy running away, and then just aim up and watch as your shots veer off, and next thing you know, you've got a dead enemy. So this is a gun that you can pick up blueprint from the market and just have some fun with it. It's great on lower level enemies. It's not an end game weapon. It is a fun weapon to use. So pick it up from the market. Give it a shot, or several. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like the video, please hit the like button below. It really helps us out. Leave any comments and I'll do my best to respond to them. I do put out new videos every Wednesday and Friday, so go subscribe and remember, stay awesome.